All right, do you guys want to know what we are doing? We are learning to play lacrosse with this incredible guy, Marine Corporal Chris Van Etten. He's a lacrosse player, he's a skier, and guess what? This guy even finished a marathon.
Yes, he did.
Careful.
There you go.
Good one.
And what makes all these things even more impressive is that Chris is a double amputee. During his tour in Afghanistan, Chris lost both of his legs to an IED.
But Chris has made a remarkable recovery, both emotionally and physically, because of it. And Jockey has chosen Chris, an everyday hero, for a very special campaign they're calling
Show 'em What's Underneath.
Take a look.
Another guy in my squad, he had stepped on the first IED. I ran over there to help out, and we got everything set up, and just as we were about to lift the guy in my squad, that's when I stepped on the second one. What happened to me sucked. I'm not gonna pretend like it didn't, but it's what I signed up to do. I'm glad that I was able to fight for my country and do something that I had, been wanting to do since I was a kid. Not all of us are lucky with the gift of a full life. And as long as I have mine, I'm gonna make sure that I celebrate it the best I can. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep going against all odds. Things are gonna get in your way, but whatever you do, never stop showing up.
Oh, my God.
Underneath?
That is beautiful.
Makes me cry. And you're one of 3 that have been featured in the commercials, right? There's a female firefighter and one other person, right?
It's an adoptive father, and he's
an adoptive father, right?
Got to meet both of them.
How empowering is this? I mean, it's empowering for us watching you, but how is it from your perspective?
Well, I've always had since I got injured, I've had this want to help people kind of overcome their obstacles, and to be able to do this with Jockey and kind of send this great message of positivity and strength has been great.
Because everything else that's out there in that genre is about sex, isn't it? It's just, look at my fantastic body.
Yeah, look at
we're
my
selling
abs,
that.
I'm
You're
hot.
saying, I love the whole concept of show 'em what's underneath.
Yeah, it's great.
And we should point out that not only did you lose your legs, you lost a dear friend that day as well.
Yeah, the whole squad lost a brother that night, and it was something that a lot of us, and me included, had to deal with, and the guilt of losing him. But that's the forefront of what I do, and what drives me to want to help people and realize that while you're still here, you might as well make the best of it.
And the working out for you was really a matter of just trying to deal with all that you were going through at the time, right? It was a positive place to take all that emotion.
Yeah, it was. That was my outlet. That was what I did to make myself feel better, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally.
A lot of people come home from war and they are struggling. And I look at you and I see a strong, solid guy. What advice, or how can you help those coming back who are struggling?
It's going to be a struggle.
Yeah.
Even today, I have my bad days and have the days where it's hard to kind of face what you've been through. But don't fight it on your own. I had a great support system. I had, other Wounded Warrior buddies of mine that would help. And being there to help your friend and them being there to support you is really what makes the difference.
Well, the gentleman that found you is a very dear friend of mine, Chris Clark. And come on in, Chris. He directed and
hi, Chris.
the whole thing for Jockey. And what was, I know you were so excited you called me and told me about this young man before I even met him, Chris. Tell us about that.
I just love this positivity. I like, Chris is an example of when you're dealt a tragic circumstance, you can sit there and feel miserable and, and be the victim. But Chris was the opposite of the victim. And when I was filming it, I didn't do a script. I sort of did questions, and I wanted to be authentic. And one of the questions I'll never forget was, I said to him, if you knew now what you did, you were going to be a double amputee, what choice would you make in your career path instead of being a soldier? And he looked at me and he said, what do you mean? I said, well, if you knew you were going to lose both legs, what would you have done instead? And he said, it's an honor and a privilege to serve my country. I would do it all again. I was like,
oh my God.
Yeah.
There you go. Thus you chose the right gentleman.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
You're the sweetest thing. And Chris,
thank you.
Thank you for the great campaign. It's really awesome.